Okay guys, happy hump day. Let's get straight into it today. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here's our first question here. We've got find the mean, median, mode, range for the following list. Now let's start with the mean. Here's some mathematical terminology here or characters here for the mean. This is mu. Sometimes that represents the mean. Usually when you see the mean will be like an X with a little line above it, or it will just say mean. In this case here, it's just an M. All right. Now, as opposed to the median, which is the middle, the mean is an average. So this little notation here is called a sigma. It's part of the Greek alphabet. And this says the sum of X, or the sum of all of your terms. And we can see this written here. The sum of all your terms, or all of the terms, divided by the number of terms that you have. So let's easily find the mean here for this group here. So this is simply going to be 13 plus 18 plus 13. Now take out your calculators for me. You should have your calculators there. So 18 plus 13 plus 14 plus 13 plus 16. Let me know if I make a mistake. Plus 14 plus 21 plus 13. So that there is the sum of all of our terms. So I'll get a line, put a line underneath here, and that's divided by the number of terms. So the number of terms that we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 terms there. So at the bottom here, I'm just going to write 9. So that's going to be equal to, if we add all of them up on our calculator, can I get you guys to add them up for me? Add all these numbers up, 13 plus 18 plus 13 on your calculator, and then in the group chat, I want you to type it here in the group chat for me. So type your answer in the meeting chat. 135, we've got, Benny's got 135, 132, 135. Okay, so if we add all of these together, we should get 135, I think is the answer. Let's have a look here. Everyone agrees 135? Excellent. All right, so we've got 135, and we're going to divide that by the number of data that we have. So if we counted them all up, they all add up to 9. Let's just double check that they add up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yep, they add up to 9. So 135 divided by 9. And if you put that into your calculator, what do you get, guys? Please put that into the meeting chat. What do you get? 135 divided by 9. 15, excellent. 15. So the mean of this data here, or the average, is going to be 15. And we just did that all together. So that's the sum of all of the terms. So the sum, when we add them all up, sum means to add, divided by or over how many terms that we have. And we had 9, so we got 15. So fantastic, we sorted out, we figured out what the mean was. Now, can we remember the median? To figure out the median, can you type in the meeting chat what you need to do? What's the first thing that I need to do to these numbers to figure out the median? So yeah, so we need to take these numbers to find the median and rearrange them from smallest to largest. And that's what we've done here, okay? So the median, now I might just type in here, this is our mean, and we'll make that nice, pretty bright color. All right, and now for our median, okay, we need to find the middle number. Now to find the middle number, remember, we need to find our nth term, which is the middle term, okay? And we do that by adding up how many terms that we have, which is 9, plus 1, and we divide that by 2. So in this case here, we have 9 plus 1 is 10, divided by 2 is going to be equal to the 5th term is our middle. Now, one thing you'll notice is that when we have an odd number of terms, okay, we end up with a whole number for the middle number. We end up with one of these will end up being our middle number. But if we have an even number of terms, that's when we get that 5.5 or 11.5, where we have to find then the middle between two of those numbers. But here we're lucky enough that our middle term is the 5th term. So the 5th term in this case is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be 14. So 14 is our median or our middle number. So that is equal to 14. And that is our median, okay, our median. Now, looking at these numbers here from last lesson, who can tell me what the mode is? Please write down the mode in the meeting chat form. Who can write down the mode? And the mode, yes, you would be correct. The mode is 13. And the reason why 13 is the mode, and I'll over here, 13 is the mode, is because it is the most frequent or the most common. So the mode is equal to the most frequent / common, or the number that just occurs the most. So in this case here, it's going to be 13 is our mode. Now, I'm going to remind you guys again that here we have 4 13s, but if we had 4 14s, our mode would then be 13 and 14. It's okay to have more than one mode, which is which numbers are the most common or the most frequent. So let's write that here. Our mode. Now, this isn't part of what we're doing today, but since this is in the question, let's look at the range. The range is nice and easy. The range, and we'll give ourselves some space here. The range is just the max minus the min. So the maximum number, or the largest number in this case, is 21, minus our minimum number here, which is the smallest number, which is 13. And that's going to be equal to, what's 21 minus 13? You can type that in. 21 minus 13. Perfect. 8. There you go. So that happens to be our range. Our mean, median, mode, and range. Now let's have a look at the example from your textbook, from the course book. Now this is a little bit different. Here we have a kind of table. All right, now you should remember that table from when we were doing our project. What do we call this kind of table? What do we call that kind of table? Type it into the meeting chat. What do you think we call that kind of table? Now there might be a giveaway here around here somewhere. What kind of table is this? Now it's missing something that we used. Yep, and Anya was first in, Yuna, and then Ju Young. Yes, it's what we call a frequency table, and we can tell that it has the frequency here of each of these different scores. The only thing that this frequency table is missing, which you guys were required to do, was the tally. Okay? All right. So basically what this frequency table does is it allows us to write down a whole bunch of data, okay, without writing down every single piece of data. Because imagine if we had to write all of these down and then arrange them. So imagine that would be like 1, 1, 1, 12 times. I'd have to write 1, 1, you know, 1, etc., and so forth. And then I'd have to write 2, 19 times. And then I'd have to write 3, 15 times, and 4, 11 times, and 5, 24 times, and 6, 19 times. And then adding them all together would be a big pain in the backside. So how do I figure out the average or the mean of this data here when we have so many numbers that we're dealing with if we're adding them all together? Well, that's nice and simple. We can use our friend the product or the multiplication. We know that we have 12 ones, we know that we have 19 twos. So if we want to add up all of our scores, we just multiply how many of these we have by how many we have. So let's have a look at that. So how do we do that? It's going to be the mean, and I'll write down over here. The mean is going to be equal to 1 times 12. That will give me all of my ones. Okay, that will give me all the products of my ones, well, the product or the sum of my ones, plus 2, how many twos do I have? 2 times 19, plus 3 times 15, plus 4 times 11, 44, plus 5 times 24, plus 6 times 19. Okay, so that's where I'm going to add all of them together. So we're going to add all of them together, but to find the mean or the average, I then need to divide them by how many bits of data that we have. Well, we've got 12 ones, we've got 19 twos, we've got 15 threes, we've got 11 fours. If we just add up all of our frequencies, that will give us how many bits of data that we have. So that's going to be 12 plus 19 plus 15 plus 11 plus 24 plus 19. Okay, now following instructions, I want you guys to add up all the sum of our scores. So I want you to go 1 times 12 plus 2 times 19 plus 3 times 15 plus 4. Add all of them up for me and then put that into the meeting chat. So add them all up. Add up all of these here for me, just the top line, just the numerator here, and then give me an answer in the meeting chat. 373. Thank you guys. All right, now that you've got 373, can you add up the frequency for me? So 12 plus 19 plus 15 plus 11 plus 24 is 100. And we can see here, it's good, you can check your data because you can see that the dice was thrown 100 times. So we should be able to, that concurs with our 100. So So you don't really even need a calculator at this point. We can figure out what our mean is. Our mean is going to be 373 divided by 100. So whenever we're dividing by a multiple of 10, we just count how many zeros that we have, and we take our decimal place and we move it in the left direction by the number of zeros that we have. So in this case here, it's going to be divided by 100. So there's 2 zeros there. So we're just going to move our decimal place 2 times. So the answer is going to be 3.7. Oops, what have I done? 3.73 is our mean or our average for this lot of data. Okay, so we've figured out the mean. What about the mode? Let's go here. So we've got the mean. What about the mode? Which one's the most frequent? Now there's the key, the most frequent. So here's our frequency. Now we're looking for the one that's got the highest frequency. And the one with the highest frequency is 5. Thank you. So this is our highest frequency here. It has a frequency of 24. So our mode is going to be equal to 24. Now, thankfully, we do not have to do the median for all of these numbers. So we've only have to do the mean and the mode, but the main thing is that you know how to figure out the mode and the mean for data that's in a frequency table.